Well, hello, 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 and welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of the Zero Hours with me, Mikey Brown. Second attempt at a vlog. Second attempt last week got muted somehow, so I gotta keep my eye on the microphone level there. So if you checked it out on Rumble, you seen me mouthing words that weren't coming out. So I will keep track on that. If I lose audio for any reason, I'll see what's going on with it. I don't know. I'm hoping this new system works okay. It's a free thing I found. Ran it last week. It was audio was the one missing, but video was good. So we'll see how it goes with the vlog, since I don't do podcasts anymore with the new fees required to do that. So I'm trying it this way, do the vlogs. It's the same old stuff. It's me getting to vent to you about the world we live in, the chaos. And it's gotten even better, hasn't it? It's really gotten better a lot. We'll start not in the United States. We'll start with the chaos and shit that's going on other parts of the world, starting by one that looks very familiar to the United States, down in Venezuela. Oh yeah, we've all heard about that. Mercado, the stud dictator down in Brazil, or not Brazil, I'm sorry, Venezuela. Same thing, Lula did it in Brazil. Mercado's doing it here in Venezuela, where he was getting his shit kicked out of him by Gonzalez in the election, supposed to be free and fair election down there. But no, Mercado couldn't have that. He rigged it up, and I haven't heard a lot going on down there the last few days, but I'm sure people are still pissed because they feel like they're going to get fucked. No, this Mercado, he's too busy picking fights with Elon Musk now. He did label Elon Musk as arch enemy and wants to fight him, and said he's trying to invade Venezuela with his rockets, his SpaceX rockets, I guess. I don't know, it just sounds like the U.S. politicians to me. I mean, it just does. But he wants to fight him. He said he represents the fascist ideology. That rhetoric we've heard before, right? Yeah, this guy's a real piece of shit. I mean, he's saying that he's the fascist ideology, and he supports the fascist ideology of the right. Now, the right's the ones that are fucked up, right? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you guys think, but Venezuela's just been nuts. And mind me if I'm looking down, because that's where my notes are. Not used to doing vlogs again. Cohorts, I forgot to mention, they're all upstairs. So if you hear pounding, running around, barking, I can't afford a studio of my own here. So I am doing it at my house. I do it in my little spot in the basement here, and that's what I do. But Mercado's even went as far now as to send out the Gestapo, pretty much, to arrest, under orders from the National Electoral Council, imprison up to 6 to 15 years for anyone protesting and rejecting the election results. Man, does that sound familiar? J6ers, Venezuela. Real close to everything, right? I mean, I think it is. I mean, but you think about Venezuela, they're going to be sitting pretty soon. I mean, their murder rate's going to be one of the lowest in the world. Their people are going to want to be there because there's no violent crime, because guess where all the violent criminals from Venezuela have migrated to? Yes, the good old red, white, and blue, the United States of America. We knew that with the open borders. the Democrats knew that with the open borders, but they still proceeded to let it happen. And Mercado is going to rob this election, just like Piss Pants robbed Trump in 2020. It's pretty much par for the course. They're in a line with the United States, who's in a line with, the UN, the World Economic Forum. I know I'm a conspiracy theorist, but you guys are starting to see this shit play out in real time. So maybe it's us conspiracy theory people that you need to listen a little better to. I mean, that would make sense to me if I wasn't a conspiracy theorist. And I knew a buddy that was a conspiracy theorist, and he was right all the time. I'd say, yeah, maybe you're onto something here. I mean, it could be, Other countries were like noticing all this, and we're all rooting. Even stinking Blinken said, I'd like to see the results. Well, he wasn't going to jump on the side of the Gonzales, the opposition to the socialist, communist, or whatever you want to call it, the dictatorship. He wasn't going to do that because America, the left side of the government here, wants Venezuela to win. They want them to be dictators down there because they want all their vermin so they can have more votes for their shitty, slimy party. I mean, that's just... If you cannot see that the illegal immigration thing with the open borders is directly 100% tied to Democrat votes, then you're blind. You got blinders on, or you're plain stupid. I mean, it's been the goal all along. It was as soon as 2020, the COVID thing happened, was over. Then they of course blame it on they blame it on the Republicans because Piss Pants wanted to fix the border right away, but the Republicans blocked his bill and because the Republicans didn't want to pay all the fluff shit that was in the bill. Standalone bill to close the border. I guarantee if I find out there was ever a standalone bill to close the border and the Republicans voted against it, that I would no longer be a Republican. That's the way it is. But there was so much other horse shit tied into that bill that they felt they couldn't let that go that way. They just couldn't let it go. And that's the way I feel about that. But other countries, and Blinken has said he wants to see results. Now the Malai, whatever his name is, in Argentina. He sent out a little message to the Venezuelans that were contradicting Mercado. He said, Dictator Mercado has committed elector fraud. That's pretty easy to see. I mean, even not from all the way up here, I can see that. He's awakened the lions of Venezuela, and sooner or later, socialism is going to end. Doesn't look like it is, because Mercado's got the henchmen out doing the work, and as far as I have heard, I mean, it was pretty big news for a couple days, and all of a sudden it disappeared. And you see reports that Venezuela's calm as can be, and it's quiet. Did they just have a spat on election night? Or is Mercado so intimidating that he's got people hiding in their homes and saying, we don't want to do this? I don't know the truth. I don't know exactly what's going on in Venezuela. But I know it sounds awful reminiscent of election rigging, election stealing, and dictator is the only difference between dictator and president, what you want to call it. We have a resident here, and they had a dictator down there. So Malal, he's about protecting the Venezuelans. Argentina wants for Venezuela to not be socialist. Most of the United States, actually, the people want Venezuela to not be socialist. But what I'd really like is for them to take their fucking vermin back. All these gang members and disgusting individuals that have killed citizens of the United States that sit here getting $13,000 in EBT benefits a month and $5,000 in cash and free housing. Send them the fuck back to Venezuela. The Venezuelans can do what they want with them, but I'm sick of all these disgusting animals being in our country. and bringing it down and destroying it. And that's what they're doing. I don't care. I don't want to hear any more about fucking asylum, this fake asylum shit. All this, welcome the newcomers. Fuck you. No. That's why we're in the shape we're in. That's why we're fucking destitute in a lot of the country right now. Because of the drain that it's pulling. And with Socialist Harris on the ticket to be the next president of the United States, you really think that's going to improve? No, it's not going to improve. It's not. And Venezuela's not the only country. I'll tell you what, France has been fucked up for a couple years. Spain got into the whole thing. They're like sick of their immigrants. Germany got sick of their immigrants. A lot of countries are sick of their so-called asylum seekers, who we know are just criminals and mental patients from other countries. The shit that country didn't want, they wanted to clean their country up. They sent them where? To the United States. That's free and clear. They got a bunch of money coming. And who wouldn't come? And I'm not going to debate people, but I know there's not 100% of them are here to cause damage or to freeload. There's some that come here and work their ass off. Most of them do it legally, and that's all I ask to do is legal shit. Illegal's in the title. And then they're all saying that it shouldn't be a crime. That's what all the Democrats say. That it's not a crime to cross the border and come here looking for asylum. The word illegal is in the name. And it should be illegal. If it's, you saying it's civil case, it's a civil thing? Fuck you. It's a criminal thing. And they call it, and they do crimes when they get here. Could be a good crime prevention tool is to not let everybody, Tom, Dick, and Joe in the fucking country unvetted. Now, other countries around the world that have had enough. They've said, fuck it. We're not going to keep putting up with this shit. But one that's had, is right now and basically in the midst of a civil war is the UK. I mean, you think about that. The Muslims against the English patriots. It's been brutal. Machetes people getting gang beaten. Machetes everywhere. Fucking. The saddest thing about it is I've watched Muslims with hatchets in their hands on video, on live video, walk right past the English police. I've seen Muslims get away with, beating a cop, and the other cops kind of just try not to get their buddy killed, but they don't really jump in and do a whole lot. But if it's an English patriot fucking protester, out come the batons, man. It's like they've been told to stand down with any Muslims or any immigrants and to beat the living shit out of the people that are English because they want the replacement theory. Sounds very fucking plausible here because that's sure as hell what it seems like. And they're chasing them with knives, axes, hatchets, all this shit. And the Muslims are they think England is their country now. This is all in England, And the 3 kids that got killed in Southport by the illegal immigrant, the Muslim. Well, if he wasn't, I don't know if he was Muslim or not, but the illegal immigrant, caused a lot of the startup. But now it's just like I think they're the point where the English people are saying if we don't do it now, we're fucked, we're screwed, because our own government's against us. And they're right. I mean, if you think about it, they're right. When you listen to this so-called thing they have as a prime minister talk. I mean, back when Georgie Floyd got it, he was all about, we can't have, the demonstrations are going to happen because this is so triggering for the black people of the United States and Black Lives Matter and all this stuff. When he's talking about his own country, he's saying that if you're caught protesting, in any way, shape, or form as an English person, you're going to get arrested. They're going to come with you with facial recognition. But the Muslims walk free. Here, this fucking guy, I can't believe he won the election anyway, the Labor Party. But this guy's a piece of dog shit, man. He really is. He's just, and I mean, I'll talk more about him as it goes on. But like in Northern Ireland, it's actually making some monumental things happen over in Northern Ireland. Protestants and Catholics, how long they've been fighting over there. They said, you know what? We're putting all that shit aside to try to save our country and save the children of our country. And they're marching in the streets to get rid of these fucking illegal, blood-sucking fucking vermin that they let it in, yeah. But should they have? They know better now. They know better now. Sad that you got to learn that way, but here we are. It's exactly the nightmare that they want to avoid when asylum's one thing and illegal immigration's another. Asylees would go to the point of entry and try to come through legally. These illegals, they fucking don't care. They're getting paid, they're getting free housing, they're getting to beat fucking people in the streets and no repercussions. They're getting to rape women without fucking repercussions at all, especially over in the UK. It's fucking mad. They can stop and pray in the middle of the fucking streets, even though they have their little mosque or whatever to go to. They still choose to disrupt everybody's life and do it wherever the fuck they want because they think they run the show. They got them people getting elected to positions over there. Basically, in Europe, it comes down to Agenda 2030 and the World Economic Forum. I know, call me crazy, call me a conspiracy guy. I get it. But one of the things they wanted to accomplish was destabilizing Europe. And I think Europe was like the first pathway. United States, you don't think we're on the list next? You really don't, because they can't get through this. They can't get this agenda without the full support of the United States, which they would have with a socialist leader, which is what they're trying to do right now with the president. But we're going to see a lot of this shit. You're going to see an increased amount of civil unrest. In Europe, yes, very much so in Europe. But also, it's coming to a town near you. I mean, it's just plain out coming. And I wish we could stop it. And I, there's one man that can, and I'm wearing his shirt today, by the way. But they're not going to let that happen. And I'm a conservative first, Trump, a MAGA second. I'm a far right-wing conservative. MAGA fits most of my bullet points for what I believe. Yeah, I wish we had a different leader that could articulate himself a little better, but he took a bullet for the country. And his vice president nominee served in the military, did his time overseas. But they look at them and you get the lefties that say they're weird and they're not loyal to the country. It's like, how the fuck can you say that Trump and Vance aren't loyal when you've done absolutely nothing on the left? What the fuck is your president or this cackling idiot that's in there now? What have they done besides a cushy life all their life in politics or law? They've never stepped foot in Afghanistan or Iraq or anything else. Hell, Kamala couldn't even make it to the fucking border. But of course she was never the border czar, though. Because now all the Democrat and the fake news and all that shit, they're backtracking. Oh, she was never border czar. Even though it's written in the fucking verbiage in 2021 that she was being named the borders are. It's like you can't make the shit up. They lie so fucking much that it becomes easy for them. And when their lips move, they're lying, kind of thing. I mean, it's ridiculous. But this destabilization that's going on in Europe, and it's going to continue in other countries, and it's coming to the United States, which they're setting it all up now between the left and right and the race wars they're trying to provoke. It's all coming to a head sooner or later. And they want to destroy the West, which, you know, they have to get their shitty agendas to go through. So basically, you want to call me a conspiracy guy, okay, but this isn't conspiracy. This has already been told that it's coming from the World Economic Forum, and it's their agenda. It's not even a normal person could see if they take their blinders off and don't commit, oh, I got to be a lefty, I got to be a Democrat. I've always been a Democrat. Well, you know, I don't know what to tell you, because it's not going to be any good. Once it gets here, it's going to be, you got to think, okay, now you're in Europe, you're in London doing that stuff. London, really? How's that gun-free zone shit going for you? See, America, that's why we hang on to the Second Amendment so much. And I'm not a gun guy, per se. But by God, I have guns, and I can learn how to use them. And if I have to use them to protect my ass, I will. It's a live free or die mentality you got to have when it comes down to threat of basically taking the chips and all the other shit they've talked about for years. Well, now, it seemed funny back then, but it's kind of, could it happen? Sure. Sure, it could happen here. You know, don't be fooled to think that what happened in Venezuela already happened here. But if you go to a place like England and you see what's going on, you don't think that can't happen here? It can happen, but we're better equipped to handle it with guns. Then you got a bloody mess on your hand. Why do you think they're going through all the trouble to get all these extra millions of people to come through here? A lot of Chinese, shit like that. The UN forces are probably already here. There's probably sleeper cells all over the country ready to attack us from the inside. It's like a Trojan horse thing. And people don't want to say it. They just want to say, oh, welcome the asylees in. But I say, I bring 2 of them to your house. Are you gonna let them stay? You got an extra room. What the hell? Oh, no. So you want taxpayers to pay for that, too. Even we're already paying for fucking Israel. We're already paying way fucking too much for the Ukraine. We've spent over and over and over again. Hell, we're even giving Iran money, you know, here on the side. Letting them build Hezbollah and Hamas back up. The first thing that Trump should do on day one, if he gets elected, which I'm not real confident in, but would be strangle fucking Iran off. Cut them off at the fucking neck, man. Squeeze them like they were before. They were broke. You can't fight when you can't fucking, when you got no money to support this shit. I mean, Piss Pants gets in there. We let them sell their oil again. They're making billions of dollars. And look what the fuck happened. We're getting ready, actually. But this really kind of pisses me off. This little war game bullshit. Because, you know, Israel bombed Lebanon and it killed the Hamas leader. Okay, I get that. I understand. You're trying to kill Hamas. Well, now, Iran, of course, said, we're going to bomb Israel. Why'd you fucking tell them? Because you're wanting it set up just like it was the last time. You're going to throw a bunch of fireworks in the air, make it look cool. The Iron Dome's going to be ready for it. They're already waiting for it. So they pew, 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 knock it out of the sky. And it costs billions of dollars. Guess where they'll come for that money? It'll be the United States. I can't see how we got any money to give any fucking body. But yeah, they keep playing these little war games. It's like you're just doing it to puff your chest out or whatever. You're not accomplishing anything. So I mean, it's just a fucking joke to me. But they're pulling out all the stops to keep Trump and MAGA and the right in general out of the way so they can get their shit done. So far as they went to take Trump out of the game, they shot the former president in the fucking head. A 20-year-old punk on a fucking rooftop. Everybody missed it except for the thousands of people or whatever that were screaming from the bottom. Look, there's a fucking kid up there with a gun, and nobody seemed to bat a fucking eye, do a fucking thing about it. Just let him take 8 shots. Now, the counter sniper did a good job. I mean, one shot, he blew the kid's fucking head wide open. Great. Hey, man, nice shot, kind of. If you've ever heard that song, that's one of my songs I like. Filter, look it up. But it's not about that, but it would fit in, right? But the thing about go back to Butler, Pennsylvania for a minute in that rally. There was a SWAT officer, and he was on this little panel that I think Fox News had on. But I got it in my notes here that he said, the SWAT officer said that their local bunch of people, SWAT, whatever, had no communication with the Secret Service at all. None. Until after they shot Trump. Does that seem right? That seems pretty fucking insane to me. You would think the locals police would be all in tied with the Secret Service, which makes it shady to think. I mean, it really thinks, because if you think about that, I mean, I have another thing written down here that I would think would be, well, the Secret Service guy, the girl got fired because she was a complete idiot. So they put this Robert Rowe Jr., whatever the fuck his name is. He's on the stand in Congress lying his ass off. And they haven't fired anybody. So nobody's been held accountable even for this disgusting display of ineptitude by the Secret Service. Nobody's been fired, not one. Whoever was in charge of that rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, should be almost probably be put in prison because they did that bad of a fucking job. That bad. But nobody's been in prison. It's no big deal, kind of seems. They're just like, okay. I don't know, guys. I mean, I'm reading like a lot of these stories. But why was it that the Butler, Pennsylvania rally was the first rally that Trump had in the 2 years he's been doing them that actually had counter snipers? So they don't do anything for 2 years. They kind of give him subpar protection. But then this one special rally where they don't communicate with the local police, they don't really have much else going on, but they have counter snipers. Why is that? Doesn't that seem, am I the only one that's calling that suspicious activity? Am I the only one that thinks that? I hope to God not. I mean, it just sounds overwhelmingly. You'd never had counter sniper protection the 2 years he's been doing. And they also didn't provide the Secret Service radios. Told them to use their cell phones to call each other. So they didn't even have like direct communication radio. Fuck, I had that at my fucking job, in case you had to get somewhere quick. Much less at a presidential rally, and you're the Secret Service. I smell fuckery, man. I just smell fuckery. It's all over the place. I don't get how people are so nonchalant about this. How fast did this whole assassination thing go under the rug? Christ, I've heard them talk about LeBron James fucking getting poked in the eye on one of the fucking CNNs longer than I've heard anything about this assassination attempt. We still talk about J6 like it was yesterday, but the assassination attempt, you'd almost think it was fucking 20 years ago. It just instantly went away. And Trump, he talks about it a little bit, but not. I'd be hammering that. You fucking people are trying to get rid of me so bad you tried to kill me. You set it up. Of course, he did the normal, what you would expect, I guess. Secret Service was brave. They jumped on, and some of them are. Some of them were. They were right there. But the people that planned this whole thing and were supposed to have all this security set up fucking suck at their job, and none of them being held accountable for nothing. How the fuck does that happen in the United States of America with a president, a former president? It shouldn't have. And it's disgusting that it did. I mean, you think about all the stuff that we've had to deal with in this country. I mean, okay, Trump gets indicted 4 times. He's a felon. Everybody's so happy about the felony. He's a convicted felon. Well, they laugh and they get a kick out. And that's why they say they're not going to vote for him, because he's a felon. You're a fucking... Half of the people that say that are probably felons themselves. Or they're committing felonies now and they just haven't been caught yet. Especially the white-collar fucking idiots. Because we all know how great you guys are at laundering money. All you got to do is look at the Ukraine for that. So Trump's indicted 4 times. He's shot in the fucking head. You got socialist Kamala Harris. She just kind of butts fucking old piss pants out of the way when he was sick, when he had COVID. He's like, get the fuck out. I know she wasn't the one, but she gladly stepped into that role. She likes that attention. She likes that power. She's never earned any of the votes, any of the delegate votes. They were all told, you're going to support, because it was like a week before that, not even that maybe, that they were all saying they wanted Biden to stay in the race. They wanted him to stay in. He's cognitive as hell, He's just cognitive as hell. He knows what he's doing. He's sharp as a tack, they said. Yeah, sure. Our elections coming up, but, with Venezuela, their rigging worked. So I'm sure the people that rigged it in 2020 are pretty confident. Or allegedly rigged it, I got to say, because, YouTube, they'll kick me off here, but they're rigged and they're getting worse, in my opinion. Put it down. Let's say that. In my opinion, they're getting. And to just today, yesterday started. Now the markets are going to crash. I mean, they've kind of been saying they're going to crash, but Japan started tanking yesterday. I haven't seen it die yet today, but I know the down was down big time. We could be beyond 1929 shit, man. Who knows? Bitcoin and all that stuff failing. It's messy. I don't know if you could describe a better movie scene for a communist takeover, or at least socialist takeover. They're the same thing than what we're seeing now in this country. The Operation Mockingbird's in full effect. I mean, it's just, it's easy to see, but it's tough to watch. It's tough to listen to, it's tough to see, and all that stuff. And if you don't think that the Operation Mockingbird and all that stuff's in effect, that they're trying to pump up Kamala's value. She got busted for pay. Now they're saying busted for paying influencers up to $20,000 to attend the DNC convention coming up in Chicago. They're saying there's emails being sent out, and they're offering them all, not just 20 grand, but they're offering them flights, hotels, high-level access to the convention and executive suites and all that good shit. Private parties, you know, probably hot dog and pizza parties for the fucking weirdos that were weird, though. I mean, yeah, I know. J.D. Vance fucking couches when he was a kid? Okay, that's strange. You tell me what these people did as adults aren't worse than that? I'm sure it is. I'd hate to see what they did as kids. I really would. But, yeah, I'm getting off of that. So the only stipulation of this big lucrative deal for people that I'm sure a lot of celebrities, you know, like Clooney's and the fucking De Niro fucks of the world are going to jump on, the Whoopi Goldbergs of the world. They're all going to go to this, take their money, take their free, you know, flights, hotels, pizza parties, hot dog parties, and all that good shit. They're going to get all that, but all they got to do is post on social media that they're going. You know, you got to support it on social media. Because you're trying to get as much fucking bullshit out to the masses that you can. To keep her name in your mouth, you know, all this fucking time. I mean, I don't know. I mean, this lady is she's such bullshit artist. Kamala. And the line is deep. I mean, they're trying to say Trump falsely accuses her of doing shit all the time. Like, they falsely accused her of donating to the Minnesota Freedom Fund, bailing out the Black Lives Matter rioters. That was said on the July the 25th. Somebody, CBS News, Minnesota, made that report that Trump is falsely accusing her. Now, let's go back to Twitter in 2020 on June the 1st. The internet doesn't lie, fuckers. It keeps receipts. On June the 1st of 2020, Miss Kamala Harris tweeted out, "If you're able to, chip in now to the Minnesota Freedom Fund to help post bail for those protesting on the ground in Minnesota." So CBS, shut the fuck up. He just nailed her. He didn't fucking falsely accuse her of shit. They caught her and her flip-flopping ass in the middle of it. And that was it. And it's the mainstream media like that shit that pisses me off. It gets more trouble than it's worth dealing with these fuckers. All right? Because look at it. They've lied about what? Biden's health. They just lied about that. Always sharp as a tack. We knew he wasn't. Now he's fucking gone. Russia collusion. You had that. That was a fucking 4-year hoax that produced zero nada. Got the, I'm going to call it DIVOC because I can't say call it 91 Dovik. How's that? Dovik. No, what would it be? 91 Devok. Devok, yeah. If you know what I'm saying, because I don't want to get pulled off this channel again. 91 Devok. That whole spiel we had 2020. The laptop from hell. Oh, yeah. That didn't, according to over 50 top level executives in our wonderful weaponized 3-letter word groups, said didn't exist. Very much exists. But no, 51 people said it didn't. Oh, yeah, they lied. As always. Of course, January 6th. They can't get off of that January 6th. And a lot of people will eat that up like that's their main way to win in 2024 is remind them what happened in 2021. They're going to win in 2024 running off of that. But we've been given how many billions of dollars to the fucking sweatpant Jesus over there in Ukraine? Jeffrey Epstein's fucking massive list of people that went to his island. We still don't know shit. I still don't think he's dead. I think Ghislaine Maxwell's probably living it up with him somewhere in the Caribbean island someplace. Now Harvey Weinstein's going to get out. Because they're letting him out as they get. Oh, go in and act like you're doing time, and we'll put you in a cushy place, and then we'll let you out. And you guys, yeah, people will forget about you. But they will never let them forget about J6. Yeah, that's their fucking mentality on the left. Hollywood, all the fucking pedophiles, the sex trafficking bullshit. That's just, yeah. Save Our Children was a big thing for about 6 months now. It's gone because they buried it in all their other horse shit. Their magnitude of other crap. But they say that MAGA supporters like me and Donald J. Trump are the threat to democracy. We are. We are. Not what, all the shit I just mentioned that you guys fucking do on the daily. But no, it's us. We're the ones. And it's funny because you can't even trust Google. You can't even trust Google anymore. I mean, I've tried this myself, but this was another one that they showed this week. You go to Google and you search Donald Trump. The first thing that pops up is news about Kamala Harris. It's not Donald Trump. It's Kamala Harris is in Atlanta doing her thing today. The first thing you see, Donald Trump. When you put in Kamala Harris, it shows Kamala Harris. There's nothing about Donald Trump. But when you type in President Donald Trump, right under his name, it shows it right here on the screenshot. News about Harris and Donald Trump. It puts her in front of him on Google. And I tried this once. One time I put left wing something. And it showed me like pictures of nice people doing great things and Juneteenth and peaceful little like kids marching with their little flags and stuff. Showed all that. Now if I go to right wing, far right wing, whatever, Nazi symbols. Death, destruction, everything you like. It's like I tried to find I was going to get a screensaver for far right extremist. I had one before in my old work computer. So I got on there and I looked up far right extremists. All it had was Nazi shit. Ku Klux Klan stuff, which isn't even the right party. And you're going to tell me that Operation Mockingbird's not full effect and the lefties ain't controlling the mainstream fake media? Yeah. Yeah. And with that, not just controlling the media, but Piss Pants is going to try to make a splash before he leaves. Oh, he's definitely going to try to make a splash. And, he's doing this new rules for the Supreme Court. He wants to pack the Supreme Court, of course. So he doesn't understand, and his administration does not fucking understand separation of power. They don't get it. Because this is some of Piss Pants' reform plans for SCOTUS. No immunities for crime by a former president committed in office. So how's he? Why would he do? He's near death, so he don't care. But term limits for Supreme Court justices. I really didn't have a problem with this, but I would have liked it when old Ginsburg was, dragging her corpse in there every day before she died. She should have been out long before that. Sotomayor should be out now. She's a fucking idiot. So yeah, I'm okay with term limits on. That's one thing I guess I don't disagree with Piss Pants 100%. But he went to binding code of conduct for the Supreme Court. No, you don't tell the Supreme Court what they're a separate entity than you, Joe. Get the fuck out of it. They're trying all this shit. I don't think it's going to go through. I'd be shocked if it did, but with if you got the lefties on your side, you got the lefties on your side. But Harris, she's riding this wave of attention and getting all this accolades for her party, and she wants to now. I'm sure she really wants to win now more than ever. But They had this thing on there the other day called, what was it on, must have been on YouTube or TikTok or something, I don't know, where you could go in, white dudes for Harris. White dudes for Kamala Harris. It's like a Zoom. It's like a Zoom thing. Okay, not a bad idea. But it's just cringe. It makes me cringe to say those words. And like, white. Who the fuck would in their right mind would? I mean, I know liberals. It's got to be liberal. But some people on there kind of disappointed me. I saw the dude on there, man. You know, I'm a big Lebowski guy. Jeff Bridges went and joined white dudes for Kamala Harris. That hurt. That ruined my fucking day. It really did. It ruined my day, and I don't know how much more disappointed I could be in life. I love the Big Lebowski so much. I love Jeff Bridges as an actor. To see him going that way just makes me want to fucking vomit. It really does. I should have known. It's Hollywood, you know, but another one was, you know, Sean Astin. I kind of like Sean Astin. I didn't watch Lord of the Rings or anything, but I liked him in like Rudy and the Goonies. Nah, you know, he says it's because men can really talk about their feelings. I don't want a bunch of people knowing. If I need somebody to hear my feelings, I'll find a family member or a trusted friend. I have those. I don't need people everywhere, every place to fucking know my whole agenda in life, to know all my struggles, whatever I'm going through. I don't need all that shit. I just don't need it. I can't believe people do. You should have a close few people or your therapist. But I mean, I don't know. I guess that's what it is. Now, Bradley Whitford, he was another actor that went on this Dudes for Harris or whatever. I could care less about him. I don't really know. I mean, he had a couple good shows and stuff, but he made a comment of what a variety of whiteness we have here. It's always got to be something, you know. And the white dudes in general kind of irritated me, but it's like, here we go again with the race, because they're right now getting on Trump because he, at that little journalist meeting in Chicago he had with that really rude bitch from ABC that I guess she got fired. I heard she got fired. But that journalist convention in Chicago where he took all kinds of shit for saying he didn't know Kamala was black because he always thought she was Indian, because yeah, she's a chameleon. She does what she wants, right? She changes to whoever she's talking to. And they all had it right. When she was in Atlanta, she tried to talk with a southern accent like a soul sister. She down there doing collard greens in the fucking bathtub and shit. But anyway, you know, but she only identifies that way when she wants to. I mean, she's an Indian American. The AP, when they came out in 2016, the headlines, I looked it up. I went in and DuckDuckGo'd it because fuck Google at this point. The AP had a front page thing and on November the 9th of 2016, welcoming Kamala Harris to the Senate. California's Kamala Harris, this is the headline. California's Kamala Harris becomes the first Indian American U.S. Senator. And then down in the article, it does say second black. And I can't believe second black what? Woman senator? That doesn't seem right, but anyway. But yeah, so then she's Indian there, and then she's black the other place. And she just keeps hitting it out of the park. You know, with her stupid shit she's always said, which I'll get into the one I thought was word salad that I guess I was wrong about in a little bit. But she went on a rant the other day about how dare we say Merry Christmas because these kids aren't going to have a good Christmas. How dare we say, you know, now you're trying to take Christmas away now, bitch? Are you fucking stupid? Yeah, I mean, I already know that's a rhetorical question because we all fucking know the answer. It's been known that you're one of the lowest IQ people to ever run for president. I think Danny Quayle might have beat you. Dan Quayle might be smarter than you. Hell, flyhead Mike Pence might be smarter than you. You fucking ignorant. Trying to get illegals to vote in 2024 is so important that they're going to cancel Christmas. Or saying Merry Christmas. Can't even do that because these illegal kids aren't going to have a good Christmas. They only got $13,000 of food stamp money and $5,000 in cash. What are they going to get with that? Get out of here, you fucking ignoramus fucking bitch. You are a fucking ignorant fucking bitch. And I don't like saying that about anybody, but she's really playing into this stuff. I mean, she's doing what she's told. I get it. I just think you're making the wrong decision about what you've been told to do. Morally, if you had any morals, you wouldn't even fucking consider doing any of this shit. The way they talk and everything else. But she's going to work on it, you know. She's going to work that system. Work it and drop it like it's hot when it gets too hot for her. We got to talk a little bit about Piss Pants, you know, because on the way out, like I said, he's trying to do the whole big spiel with Supreme Court, all that good shit. But he was asked the other day what his legacy for his term is. Because, you know, according to some people, he's the greatest thing ever. He's the best president we've ever had. I do not understand how you're living in this country right now and you think that, but okay. All right. But they asked Piss Pants himself, old Biden, what his legacy was. He said it was curing the economy and the climate. What legacy? What legacy for one thing, but the economy? We're getting ready to fucking tank on your watch, dude. This is, yeah, I know you guys are going to blame it on Trump somehow, but the jobs report that you, so, you know, you're out of the old 91 DIVOC, whatever I call it. You're out of that excuse. So now, I can't even do that anymore. COVID, you're out of the COVID excuses. I just don't want to get banned. Maybe I won't talk about the V word. If I don't talk about the V word, okay. But yeah, he's more senile than we thought. He's fucking done. That guy's burnt toast. He really thinks that. And I truly believe he does think that. He thinks that he did such a great job. I mean, he's clearly not in his right mind. I mean, he went out the other day, and there is a good thing. And when people do good things, I'm going to give them their due. We did get three Americans that were held in a Russian prison. We got them back. The Wall Street journalist reporter, Paul Whelan, the Marine, who should have came before, you know, man-child Brittany Griner. Should have been before her, them, whatever. And they finally did get them out. So I'm going to say, okay, but what we traded for them wasn't good. It was a bad deal, kind of, sort of. But it's three Americans that got to come home. So I'm all right with that. But then Piss Pants goes on this rant about getting on Trump's ass for failing to free three American prisoners who were detained by Russia when he was president. Well, that'd be okay. It would be all right. But 2 out of the 3 got put in prison when you were president, Joe. Did you fucking forget what year it is again? You imbecile. I mean, you just make yourself look stupid. 2021 and 2023, these people went to prison in Russia. You were already there, buddy. Now, Paul Whelan been there a long time. He's been there a long time. Yeah, I wish Trump would have got him out. But Trump wasn't going to let him out for the merchant of death like we let Brittany Griner out for. The fucking merchant of death, really? That's who we trade a basketball player, a Heishi basketball player for? That doesn't even fucking love the country, would kneeled for the anthem or doesn't come out at all? Ah, come on. I'm trying to be more on the not blowing my top thing today, but there's so much shit on here pisses me off. And the sad part is that if President Trump's elected on November the 5th, let's just say this does happen. Upset again, 2016 all over, the people crying, salt liberal tears. But the Republicans would happen to lose the House. They would happen to lose the House by 1 seat. The House Democrats are already saying, this is August, they're already saying that they will not certify that election. What we wanted Mike Pence to do, they're saying they would not do that. Already. So you put a candidate in without voting for them to replace the president that you moved to the side because his numbers were failing after that bad debate he had with Trump. So you do all that, and now you're saying you're not going to certify the election no matter what, because if you win the House. So I guess it's pretty imperative that the right wins the House November 2. You're saying all that, but you're saying that you're saving democracy. That you're defending democracy. You're saying that with a straight face with all the shit you just spewed about not certifying elections. Yeah, because you guys can't lose. You've been brainwashed to think that you're doing this for the American. You're not doing this for yourself. You're not even doing it for American people. You're not doing it for. You keep on that plantation. You like being that plantation worker. Stay on the plantation. You vote like your massa tells you to. And you think things are going to change for you when it happens? Past history dictates that it does nothing. You elected Obama. You've elected Clinton back in the day. Obama. They haven't done shit for the country, really, but even the people that die hard go for them, that are so upset about Trump calling, not knowing if Kamala was black until recently, because she uses all that different stuff. But, you're not going to certify elections, and you're saving democracy, though. I mean, that just, it cracks me up. I mean, it does, it shouldn't make, I have to laugh before I cry or get insanely pissed off and start breaking shit. I mean, there's only so many directions you can go with it, and it's what it is. Wow. I don't know, guys. It's just, let's talk about the Olympics. The Olympics there'll be something out of politics for a minute. The Olympics started, in Paris, and there's been quite a bit of controversy. Opening night was one. Whatever that was, that stage show they put on, I don't know how to describe that, other than scary cringe. I don't know. As far left as you can get, I guess. I guess they somehow justifiably said that they weren't mocking the Last Supper with what they did. It was some kind of mythical Greek thing. Okay, I don't give a fuck. It looked fucked up. All the people looked on there, and they call us the weirdos on this side. I mean, this shit, I don't know what's been in the water. Thank God I haven't been drinking whatever a lot of these other people have been drinking. It's fucking scary shit to look at, just to see that. People think that's normal. But yeah, it is Paris. Okay, a little artsier over there. But a lot of people call it satanic, whether we want to say it or not. I mean, I thought Gojira was fucking badass. I did see that part. Gojira is just a great band. But they're from France, They got to do what they got to do. Hey, that's fantastic. But a lot of the other shit, and even they're Marie Antoinette holding her own head and spouting whatever they were saying. They were talking about that being all fucked up and satanic too. But I mean, there's some stuff here from the Archbishop, an Archbishop of it, Carlo Maria Vigano, had this to say about the Olympics. I wrote it down here. He said they're hiding in plain sight. He thinks that Emmanuel Macron passes off as a transvestite. Well, he passes off a transvestite as his own wife. Just like Barack Obama did. And Barack Obama is accompanied by a muscular man in a wig. So it's not just us on the right over here. You got people in France say the same thing. I think this guy's from France. I don't even know. He has a way with words. I do know that. That was a quote he made after the French opening ceremony. Is he wrong? Is he wrong? I don't know about Macron so much. Macron's woman doesn't look real womanish-y, but I don't know. I mean, it was just kind of the whole thing started out. Then you got this guy that's over there that's competing in the Olympics, okay? This guy supposedly raped a 12-year-old, allegedly or whatever. Man, I thought he was convicted of it. 12-year-old child he raped. He rapes a child, this lady, this woman that was on the news over there, CBN News, wherever that's from, said it's a bit strong to call him a child rapist. What? How is calling him what he is a fucking bit strong? Yeah, it goes on. She went on to say that some of these fucking 12-year-olds are a little bit sassy. And she can see why some of them get in trouble this way. So she spins it to make the victim the problem. This is a woman talking. This isn't a guy trying to justify for one of his buddies. This is a woman talking. She called it that he was 19 when it happened. She says calling a 19-year-old man a child and a mistake for raping a 12-year-old, called it inappropriate holiday romance. Inappropriate holiday romance for raping a 12-year-old girl when you're 19 years old. Now, here's the real part of it. What the facts were of the case, though, that I wrote down here was he flew to the United Kingdom. He groomed a 12-year-old girl, and he raped her. He got put in jail for being a child rapist, and now he's representing his country in the Satanic Olympics. The Summer Olympics, okay? But guess who can't be there to do sports and all that good stuff for their countries? Pedophiles that get put to death. So maybe they needed him for whatever. I don't even know what country. I forget what country he was. Forget what country he was from. I didn't write it down. That's my fucking problem. But yeah, this shit like that. Come on, man. Oh, it's this God. Then we got the boxing thing. The whole boxing thing. All right. So this Sharif, Ismail Sharif from Algeria. Looks like Colin Kaepernick, tall, slender maybe. She does look like Colin Kaepernick. I've seen some memes. She was fighting a young girl from Italy named Angela Carini. And after about two shots to the head, 46 seconds in, this Carini gives up, says she's never been hit this much in her life, or hit that hard in her life. And they're calling this Sharif a biological male because the Olympic Committee does not gender test, okay? They just go by your passport. She was gender tested in the World Championships by the IBC or IBA, International Boxing Association, whatever, and failed that because she had Y chromosome, which, you know, you can be born that way, or you can be doping, which apparently they didn't find any of that, or you can have spikes in your testosterone. It's a disease called DSD or DHD or something. So how do you do that? I mean, if they show a Y chromosome or fail a gender test, which, God, how the fuck, when did we start having to have gender tests? But the Olympics doesn't do it. It's the IBA that's doing it. But I don't know. People have their thoughts and opinions about this Sharif. I was jumped on it right away because it quite honestly looks male. Looks like a man. Has no boobs. Like it looks like Brittany, kind of like a Brittany Griner type. Tall, slender, kind of muscular. But I guess she's been fighting for a long time. And I've seen video clips of her, supposedly her dad. I don't mean Algeria, who knows? But Algeria, the country, doesn't allow transitions. So all that, I mean, it's hit or miss for me. But it's like it's way out of control proportion. There are trans athletes in the Olympics. They let them compete. And there's another boxer, actually, that failed gender test too for Y chromosome. Didn't get as big a deal made about that. I think it was the fact that the Italian girl was so expressive about, yeah, she did, you know, made a big spiel about doing this for her dad and blah, blah, blah. And then this supposedly man come in and beats her ass. There's a lot of different ways you can look at it. I don't think this Sharif is born a male at this point. A little too much stuff points to not being that. High testosterone levels, sure. How can you regulate that to keep it fair? Fuck, I don't know. I really don't know. I've thought of a lot of things, but I don't know. It's just, what can you really do? I mean, that's the whole thing. There's just not a lot. But I'm sure, you know, there's some good things in the Olympics. The United States doing well. Simone Biles, she's pretty good. I mean, not pretty good. I mean, she's fantastic. But I'm just saying she did another gold medal performance for us. And last time I was upset, the last Olympics, I was upset with her because she bailed out. She had her reasons, I'm sure. And the girl that replaced her last time, that Suni Lee, she got third place in one. So good job. And that's all I got to say about the Olympics, I guess. Still going on. I don't know. I wrote this down, and I was just thinking of this stuff. You know, I could throw it at the end, but I'm going to put it in now because it's just before I get into this stuff that people are going to call me names for. It's no longer Republican and Democrat, okay? It's just not. Because if you're a Republican, you're for America, you're a Christian, you're progressing the country, you're back in the blue like I do, you're all the stuff that matters. You're called every name in the book. White, supremacist, racist, blah, blah, blah. Ku Klux Klan, which is, you know. Or you can be the other party, which other party and kind of pronouns and fucking rainbow flags, man. Just, there's literally, there's like a line now. I can be all for, I'm for the gay people. I am for the gay. I'm not for the transgender, so that makes me transphobic, along with the white supremacist, racist, misogynist, I don't know what else you could say. But there's a line, and to me, you're either American or you're for the America we have, or you're for this utopian America where you can just do whatever the fuck you want, get all the money you want, and be told what to do at every given moment, which is socialism. That's what the other side wants. I want the America, that the constitutional America. I guess that might seem weird to some people, especially on the left, because they don't understand that. But it's just, I'm tired of giving my money away to illegals and fucking do-nothings that want to sit on their hands. I'm tired of not having any repercussions for people doing stupid shit. They're somehow being let out because of the liberal fucking judges and prosecutors and attorneys and systems we have. They can play the race card, or they can play the gender card now and get away with fucking a lot of more shit than a white, straight, conservative Christian can. I'm sick of all that. I mean, there was this the other day. There was 6 younger kids, but none of them have a job. It was documented. Decided, and they're the usual suspects. I'll call them that. Whatever you want to say. They're all 6 blacks. Okay. Decided to attack an off-duty white firefighter. They broke his teeth out, gave him a concussion, hospitalized him. Then they asked why he did it. And the one spokesman for their little group said, "I didn't do nothing." It's the same old shit, man. Get away with it. And there's a gang of 10 to 15 anyway, including a 7-year-old. Here's the crazy one. 7-year-old armed with a fucking hatchet that robbed and harassed 5 15-year-old girls. Because why? Guess what? They're white privilege. This is King County somewhere. King County Prosecutor's Office said the 7-year-old is not even eligible for charges. So you can walk around with a hatchet. Give a hatchet to a 7-year-old fucking lunatic and walk him around and tell him when to chop at something, because he's not going to catch any charges. Because state law, children under the ages of 8 are incapable of committing crime. Guess what? We're not in the same old days we were. Because any more of these fucking animals, yeah, that's what animals, when you're in this fucking thuggery, yeah, I don't care. 7, 8, 9, 10, 5. If you got a hatchet and you know what the fuck it can do, which I'm sure he did, then they're all too able to commit crime. Sorry. But the 5 teenage victims were all 15. The gang had 10 to 15 people, thugs, aged 7 to 17. The victims they got off the bus. It was happening on a bus. The thugs began harassing them over their white privilege, which is bullshit myth. The 7-year-old threatened the teenagers, but he can't commit a crime, right? But a threat is a crime, is it not? Fucking Kings County prosecutor. 7-year-old threatened them and another suspect, reportedly who was carrying a baby, and stole money away from one of the handbags. This is Biden's America. Hello. No arrest. Get that. No arrest have been made. Because why? Because why? They're not going to be held accountable. Just harass people at your own, whatever the fuck you feel like. That's just 5 white bitches. We don't care. The anti-whiteness in this country is fucking pissing me off. It should be pissing everybody off. Because the amount of fucking public resources that are needed to keep the thugs from destroying everything and killing everyone. I'm talking illegals, I'm talking minorities, I'm talking them all. To keep them from destroying everything, killing everyone, is harder and harder the more the fucking population of those people grow. Am I saying all minorities are bad? Fuck no, don't even go that way. You know a fucking thug when you see a thug. There's black thugs, there's Hispanic thugs, there's white thugs, there's Muslim thugs, there's Catholic thugs, there's all that shit. Thug is just simply a word like the N word, because I'm not, we're not allowed to say that. So to me, I can use the word thug, which now they're classifying the word thug as just as much of a slur as the N word. How the fuck do you figure? Thug's universal. The N word really is an attitude, not a fucking skin color, but you people made it a skin color. All you fucking bureaucrats made it a skin color. But, no, fuck you. Thugs is what I'm going to use for all of them. Not just one skin color of thug. But there's just no exception that we can get by with this fucking shit because it's going to keep happening. Here was an unprovoked, the other day, old man, another old man, which they like to do. Unprovoked black on white attack on an elderly white man. It's right out in front of his house, broad fucking daylight. This guy just runs up to beat the hell out of him. And he was beat up, and he's got fucking bruises and shit all over his face. I got a picture of it. But no, that's okay. And here's another, I'm going to make this statement. I don't give a fuck at this point because I'm already what you call me. You can have a nice, respectable Walmart. You can have a really good Waffle House. You can have a great Popeye's Chicken and Taco Bell and all that state in your city. You can have all that, but if you have too many of the thugs laying around, forget about it. Forget about it. Every day I turn on any fucking news source, whether it's X, whether it's Twitch, whether it's, whatever site, Facebook, not so much Facebook, but any news source, Politico, even CNN, whatever. I can't look on there a day, but especially on TikTok and X and stuff, where it's just filmed by people. Every day there's a brawl somewhere. If it's not a Waffle House, it's a Walmart. If it's not a Walmart, it's a fucking airport. If it's not an airport, it's on the airplane. Or a cop pulling them over and they ask them to get out of the vehicle and they go, why? I ain't doing that. I ain't doing. And then scream bloody murder, racism when the cop drags them out of the car. Yeah, fucking get over it, man. You can't have nice shit. You can't. Not with the thuggery that's going on. And then cops, I feel bad for the cops. They're in such a fucking harm's way, man. And they don't have hardly any help. This is just out in Seattle. Seattle City Council, okay? This is what their cops are they're eligible to book for right now. Assault, DUI, of course DUI is a moneymaker. Sex crimes, well that's good. Firearm cases, all right, guns. And domestic violence, great. But why are we limited to what we can book for? Because we want to defund the police. So one that's not is the top one, and it's the one Kamala Harris herself pushed for. As long as it's under $1,000, don't arrest them for theft. So they can't even book anybody in Seattle for theft. So you might as well keep looting all these companies and then bitch when they leave because they're losing their ass. They're losing the money out their ass. They trespassing? You can't call somebody and say somebody's in my house or on my land. You know, they're breaking into my house. No, property destruction, so you get your car busted to shit by a group of teenagers walking by or something. You can call the cops. Just pay for it or call your insurance company, see what happens. Can't get any bookings for harassment, so you call them for harassment, and they'll say, well, we can't charge them, so why would we come out there and look at harassment? Animal cruelty, now this one that pisses me off. You can't book somebody for animal cruelty. And while we're on it, have anybody else been noticing all the fucking animals, especially dogs, just being left and dropped off places? I've seen several videos now of people in a traffic stop or traffic jam or whatever, sitting there in the traffic, opening the door, letting the dog out, and closing the fucking door. The dog's scratching to get back in, can't it? They take off down the road. The dog's fucking chasing them. Or they just, there's more than one video of that. That's fucking sad. Or they just, take them all, tie them up to a fucking dumpster somewhere behind a Dollar General or something and just leave them. Because, I can't take care of them anymore. You don't just fucking leave them there. I mean, I know you people are heartless fucking cocksuckers. I know that. It's the mentality of that's another fucking thug trait. But own up to it. If you can't get it and you can't find another home for it, you take it to the shelter. Or if that shelter's full, you take it to another one. You find a place for that animal. I seen a guy on TikTok. He was actually beating his dog, and the whole TikTok community went after it. Now, supposedly, they doxed him out and somebody burned his fucking house. But there's no reason to go that far. But god dang, man, I'm an animal lover as far as my dogs. I would go without eating so my dogs could have food if I had to. I know I'm a fat man, and luckily I never had to worry about it. But that's how I feel about my pets. So if I'm actually invisible line and I see somebody drop their dog off, or their cats for that matter, on the side of the road to take off, I will follow you. And if you're bigger than me, so be it. I'll get my shots in, but most likely you're going to have to be a pretty big boy to be bigger than me. I will beat the living piss out of you. And if you're a woman, I might have to break my own rule against hitting women, but I'll just slap you, I guess. I don't know what I would do. I would be incensed if I saw it. But yeah, Seattle can't do anything about it. Yeah. Now, sometimes, I mean, just think of all the money, the thugs, just the thug nation out there. Just think of the negative fucking drain on our resources with these illegals and the do-nothings, the thugs that think that something's owed to them at all the time and they shouldn't have to work for nothing. Just think of the draw on our resources, our economy, our fucking society in whole. But, and it's fucked up. These illegals are coming in droves, and they're allowed to get, driver's licenses. Why? If you're illegally here, why could you get a driver's license? And then you get an ID so you can vote. The fucking plan and the scam is fucking real, man. It's just... Now the illegals, in some places, that have been robbing the taxpayers for how long? Now they're protesting. Protesting for the right to vote. No. I don't care if you've been here for years and pay taxes. If you're not a citizen, why should you get to vote? I've never understood that. If you're here legally, I guess, but they should have some kind of voting visa or something. I'd be okay with that. But no, if you're here illegally, and I don't care if you're somehow paying taxes or not, I mean, that's a little bit better, but still fucked up. No, illegal. The word illegal in your fucking name should be enough, but it's not for you idiots. It's just not. Jesus. And we were talking, I was talking about no repercussions either, a little bit ago. Do you guys remember Jonathan Lewis? Okay, the kid out in Vegas. He got beaten by that mob of 10 or so black kids. Now, the mother of Jonathan Lewis is out. She's saying that the thugs accused of beating her son to death. Now, mind you, it's not just hurt this kid. They killed him. They're not going to be prosecuted as adults. And they weren't like the 7-year-old with a hatchet. These were adult, almost adult. I mean, they were 16, 17-year-old kids. They're not going to get charged. They're going to let them get away with murder, basically, because they're going to plead guilty to murder, okay? And the most they're going to get in the adult system, maybe a couple years, because they're not being charged as adults. I've seen 15-year-olds here recently be charged with murder as an adult. Why are these kids different? This was, a group of thugs in 2023. They're suspects. Damian Hernandez, Dontrell Beaver, Gianni Robinson, and Trevion Randolph were under 18 at the time of the crime. So this new deal allows them to plead. There's a new deal, which I don't know how that fucking. Plead guilty as juveniles to manslaughter. They avoid adult prison that way. They're allowing that deal to go through. I don't know. I mean, I just don't feel right about that. How are they not being charged as adults? But, I mean, yeah, people can definitely be rehabilitated. That's the word, rehabilitated. Some can, some can't. I don't know, it's a tough one. But it would feel like, if it was my kid, I could definitely feel why she would think it feels like them getting away with murder, too. So, yeah, both sides. But other than that, there was 9 arrested. 4 other ones, including a 13-year-old boy, have all pleaded guilty in juvenile court to voluntary manslaughter. So, I mean, that's really all. What more can you do at that point? Voluntary manslaughter, but I don't know, man. But don't worry about it, because then, the next Supreme Court justice, the next one with Joe's talking all his smack about reforming, doing all this reform for the Supreme Court. Maxine Waters has it figured out. She said the next Supreme Court justice should be an illegal immigrant. So the highest court in the land, you want to have an illegal, definition of illegal is not legal, Maxine. You want them deciding the fate of people about breaking the law or not. You're a special kind of fucking stupid. You know that? I mean, not only are you cringeworthy fucking ugly, but you're dumb as a box of rocks too, Maxine. Fucking hard to believe that people are that fucking dumb as that bitch. Whatever. Oh, I got one segment left for today. It's a combination of wokeness, but I just call it the rest of 8-5 because today is August the 5th. Forgot to say that at the beginning. 2024, if you're not aware. Anyway. Bunch of Harris supporters apparently were in Philadelphia the other day. July the 27th, I think it was, this happened. Because I've been a little bit behind with my stuff here. There was hundreds of people marching in Philadelphia. It's Philadelphia, man. What a shithole dump. That's one of the worst cities in the world right now. It's got to be. But 100,000 people were out today supporting ideology of revolutionary communist. Okay. They said there was hundreds. I'm sorry, 100. I said 100. The hundreds were supporting the thing that has killed 100,000 plus. Because socialism and that shit doesn't work. We know that. From Venezuela to Cuba and all that good stuff. We know it doesn't work, but nobody wants to say that or believe it. They just think it sounds too good to be true. It sounds too good to be true to the ones that know it's not going to be good. But they think, oh, they can fix it. They can fix it. They can tweak the system. They can fix it. Oh, boy. I mean, okay. Here's a champion for you. This is part of what's wrong with America here. But this woman, this is a liberal woman on here. I wrote this. Molly Jong Fast is her name. She's talking about J.D. Vance. I just thought this was crazy. That's why I wrote it down here. Because J.D. Vance, you know, his wife's not white. So he has 3 biracial children. But this Molly Jong Fast, she claimed that J.D. Vance has an evil plot to bring more white children to America. Yeah, you can't fix stupid. You really can't. I mean, the asininity, I guess you would say, of that fucking statement shows the left in a hand right there. That shows the left pretty much to a T. They're that stupid. Oh my Lord, man! It gets better every day, don't it? It just it's almost as bad as Pete, the mayor of Buttigieg, who I don't think is going to get the VP nod, but fucking Shapiro from Pennsylvania, he's a useless turd too for Kamala's backup plan. But poo booty juice, old Mayor Pete Buttigieg. He says that men are freer now. We're freer when abortion is legal. We're just free because, you know, we can have free sex without consequences. You know, we get us pregnant, we just have an abortion. Simply kill the unborn babies, man. That way we don't have to take responsibility for them. So we're free and clear. We should be living our best lives right now. Abortion should be legal. Men would love it because men would be off the hook. Booty juice. You're fucking stupid. But J.D. Vance and the right wing are the weirdos. We're weird. We drink Diet Mountain Dew and shit. You know. I don't get, I mean, that's an asinine thing to say, but it's like, yeah, it's true for the people that they just want to fucking bang chicks and not have any responsibility. But what happens when, let's say, one of the girls does, you know, wants to keep the baby, and you can't force the abortion because the men have no rights. Right? Isn't that right, Booty Juice? We can't do anything. We can't tell her she has to get one because it'd be her body, her choice, all that good shit, right? But yes, she can go have an abortion at any time. But even if I wanted the baby to raise as my own, I couldn't do it because it's her body, her choice. So they get it every which way coming, and the men get no. And the women say, well, it's our reproductive rights. We have to blah, blah. You got to have help to have a fucking kid, Junior bitch. Should be at least somewhat fair. The man wants to stay. You spread your legs to have it. If the man wants the baby, why doesn't he have no rights? Well, that's how it is. And I'm not going to get into the abortion thing because I'm pro-life. That's just, people are going to disagree. And I understand that. It's just... I'll go back to some election stuff because the election stuff's in here too. And it's not really, I'm talking about current, I'm talking about the old election that makes us kind of maybe see the future that we could see this year still. You know, about 3 months ago, up in Milwaukee, the elections director, her name was Claire Woodall. She was fired. She got fired for printing 64,000 ballots with Biden's name on them. It was in the back conference room of City Hall. That was on Election Day 2020. Okay? 64,000. Keep that number. 64,000. Printed with Piss Pants' name on it. Trump lost Wisconsin that year. He did lose Wisconsin by 20,000 votes. Is your math mathin'? Because 64,000 minus 20, 44,000 left for fucking Trump to win. But, you know, the media, shh, quiet, don't say nothing. Maybe they'll go away. Whoosh. Mainstream media. Yeah, that's the same old, same old. If that would have been somebody with Trump's name printed on it, we would have never heard the end of it. It'd be like J6 on repeat. It's just as bad in Fulton County down in Georgia. 380,000. 380 fucking thousand ballot images are missing in Fulton County. It's as bad as it gets. They're as bad as you can get with breaking laws in the election laws as you can fucking get down there in Georgia. Stacey Abrams and the whole funky bunch down there, the Fonnie Willises of the world, they make Georgia stay on their side. I'm trying to do my Kamala Harris, you know, when she was down there. Hillary Clinton back when she said, I didn't know the ways, tired. Mocking the people of color in Georgia, and neither one of them get it. Hillary, we know, is white. I hate to tell you, but your definition for how many all these years that black people were offended by the word black or colored. They wanted to be called African American. But now they don't have any problem being called black because guess who's not from Africa? Either one of Kamala's fucking parents. She's an Indian Jamaican. Olive-skinned woman, if you want to say it that. Mocha. But no, she's black. Because we're all black. We're black. Black stand. Black Lives Matter. Black. Not African American. Don't call me African American. We're black. Back and forth. Like I said, the chameleon, you know, kind of attitude, but whatever. Yeah, Georgia. Georgia's a fucking joke. Oh boy, it's one thing I found this the other day. You know, we're talking about the border. I just thought it was funny that there's 19,000 border agents, like border patrol agents in the country, trying to control massive amounts of millions upon millions of people that have come into the country. 10, 15,000 a day at points, but all the way up and down the coastlines. But we have 175,000 fucking IRS agents. 8 times? 8 times as many IRS fucks as we do border agents? Really? So you're worried about targeting American citizens, not the drug cartels coming across. No, not the illegal gang members coming across to rape fucking women and steal kids. And you're not worried about that. You're worried about the American citizens by having 8 times more people worried about where we're getting to spend our money when we're not handing it to you fucks for the Ukraine. So you have your little pizza and hot dog party somewhere. Whatever, we're giving it for you. So 8 times as many agents to give us fucking shit over our finances as there is to keep bad people out across the border. It's just fucking ate up to me. It doesn't make any sense. And our buddy 91, well, here's another election one. I forgot this one. Arizona. Another battleground state. You know, this all happened in the battleground states. They had over 10,000 illegals again, that used the same exact Social Security number and voted in the 2020 election. Over 10,000. Same exact Social Security number. How they got a Social Security number? Well, the company gives them one. The company they work for gives them a number, a Social Security number. And then everybody and their brother uses it. Isn't that neat? How that fucking fucked up the system is? Isn't it just great? And that's just one thing they're talking about. Just one thing. And when you get on the, that, and we were talking about the Olympics earlier. You can't go anywhere without talking about 91 Divock. I have to say it now because I'm talking about the V stuff. Maybe in a minute. But they're talking about that, the old COVID-19. I'm just going to say, fuck it. They're asking, do the Olympics have a chance to be a super spreader? Oh, yeah. 1,000%. Yeah, for sure. 100,000%. There was a doctor that actually said that. He really said it could be a super spreader and COVID could come back a raging. Okay. The last experts you guys had told me that we could take an experimental gene theory and wear a mask and we'd be okay. But people did that and they still weren't okay. I mean, the insanity of that time seems so long ago now, but it was like, I can't believe. And I was one of those the first couple weeks, I was terrified. And I should have never been terrified. It was all the way it was going to be. But you don't know till you know, right? Now we know, at least you should, not to fall for it for the second time. And, this administration with the COVID thing, well, I guess we'll see what's happening. Because Bill Gates also, he's the expert. He's our trusted expert on COVID. He's saying COVID now. He said it came from bats. This is him talking, not me, YouTube. Quotes now. COVID came from bats and it's going to keep happening with climate change. You could tell when Bill Gates lies and when he's lying. Can you spot what he does? Hey, he opens his fucking mouth. That's how I feel about Bill Gates. Fucking unbelievable. They can't give up on this fight. And our administration, not only are worried about that, but they're trying to starve us out. The agenda of this administration to control the food supply, and us in general as people. So the farmers in this country are fucked. I mean, they've been having to do all these extra regulations and all this horse shit. They're trying to kill off the farmer. Basically, the fake plant-based shit and the 3D generated food and all that stuff. They're trying to regulate the land. They have the water thing in Idaho. They've had all kinds of other shit. Tell them they have to just burn their crops and all this good shit. Take their land, take their water rights, take them all. So buy local. That's my advice. Buy local from a farmer if you can. Because that's one of the things you notice, that they're not only going to try to kill us, they're going to try to starve us out this way. And if the old COVID doesn't do the trick, they got another one up their sleeve. They have one more up their sleeve. It's called the bird flu, right? The bird flu is one I thought was going to hit by now. I thought, okay, once Piss Pants got moved out, they were going to, instead of calling it COVID, I thought they were going to call it bird flu, and that would be the new thing they could hype up. There's a bird flu conference now, and they're just overwhelmingly in search of a new pandemic. The globalists got to have something. They got to have a backup plan because nothing has worked yet. They couldn't kill the Don. You know, they couldn't do a lot of things, and the Wu flu didn't work last time, so they're trying something else. Now, Bill Gates, as I was saying, he's a complete fucking lying idiot, and I don't know how he's our expert on anything. But now he's working, allegedly, I'm going to say allegedly, joined forces with the World Health Organization, which we knew he was a big part of. But now they're saying that COVID vaccine refusers, going to be rounded up by the military and forced to take the jab with mRNA shots during the next pandemic. Because, you know, they've already said there's going to be another one. Dr. Death said that back when, you know, right after he predicted the first one, he said there will be another one. You know. So this supposedly is they're saying Gates and the WHO have ordered governments to lay the groundwork to mobilize the military to roll this plan out. Who the fuck is Bill Gates to order any government anything? The World Health Organization is supposed to have a little vote back in May to give up sovereignty. It didn't happen. So fuck the World Health Organization too. How can you demand any government do anything? They come to you for suggestions. They don't come for you to boss them around. They're trying to say, you know, refusing vaccines now would be acts of regression, and they got to be met with force. Fuck you guys. Fuck all of you motherfuckers, man. No way. Are you guys sick of this shit? Are you getting tired of getting bullied yet? I'm tired of being bullied. I ain't fucking. The World Economic Forum is the only one worse than the WHO. Even with Klaus Schwab being done. They want to, you know, the depopulation thing has not been like hidden. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's fucking what they want to do. They want to depopulate the world. Part of 2030 agenda is depopulation. Now, there was other, like the Kaiser, I think it was the Kaiser report or something, that had 2025 dropping a big ton of people. Could it be the bird flu coming? Who fuck knows? But the goal is to depopulate by 1 billion people. There's like, what, 8.5 billion on the earth? They want to depopulate that by 1 billion people 2030. Yeah. They want to radically reduce the number of, this is the part that gets you though, white people. They want 1 billion white people gone. And can't you see what the trend going on right now is? All the Muslims in England, all the illegals and the minorities here in the United States, all the different skinned people in France. It's like the governments took them seriously here, took the World Economic Forum seriously. So if you thought the Great Replacement was a conspiracy theory, It's showing its fucking face right now. I don't see how you can think that's a conspiracy theory anymore. I mean, I think it'd be a conspiracy not to believe it's coming. They're trying to replace us or depopulate us. They want the white people out because guess what? People that do nothings and all that good shit are easier to control. Yeah, we will give you so much money a month to live as long as you stay right to fuck there where we know where you're at. And when we need you, you're right there. And when we want to kill you, you're going to fucking die. And that's basically what it boils down to. I mean, they say white people, they're blaming the white people for everything, which is, guess what? Nothing new. But this is a report, actual report from the World Economic Forum, okay? They said white people are responsible for the vast majority of the world's problems. Climate change, white person's fault. Colonialism, it's all the white people. Only whites. All the interest of the equitable future for the globe. Which I don't believe in a globe, so fuck you anyway with that. But yeah, we're responsible for that too, whatever the fuck that means. And that the number of white people, they got to reduce this, man. That's a priority for the World Health Organization, or the World Economic Forum. And they enlisted the United Nations to help with this. And that's where I get into this thing with I think there's more United Nations Army forces here in this country already than anybody wants to think about or believe. I really do. They're the Trojan horse. They come in. They got all these minority fighting age men that have been coming across the border for 3.5 years. Solid. It's going to be a problem. But, the only thing like England, they don't own guns. We do. That's going to be the biggest difference. Can people that don't want to have to kill somebody kill somebody? That's going to be the answer. The question that has to be answered, including my own. Could I really kill somebody? Could I really shoot somebody if that come down to it? I don't want to, but by God, I hope to God I think I could. I hope to not find out, but I mean, it's the cold hard truth of it is that we might have to. And the economic downturn is the last thing I want to talk about, really. Japan yesterday. It was just yesterday. Stock futures, crypto, plummeting down. Yeah, there's something called a Nikkei or Nikkei 225 index in Japan. It was down 6%. So it was all depending on the U.S. jobs report, which tanked. It's like 114,000 for July. Nowhere near what they needed or thought. So, economic slowdown, there's a lot of concerns about that, including for us. And, my fucking 401k's in that shit. I worry about it. NASDAQ's down, S&P, Dow, Bitcoin's way down. So, it's a fucking mess. So, we could very well be on our way to 1929 again, or even maybe not to that extent, 2008. It's not going to be good, whatever it is, because we're not going to get, even if we got Trump, it's not going to be in time. And that's just it. I think, and I'm going to leave it at this, because, I don't know when the next time, tomorrow's never promised, but, I mean, I don't know the next time I'll be able to get on here and do a vlog. I might be later this week. It might be next week. It could be never. So I guess I got to spill it out there that, at this point I say go live your fucking lives. Hardcore. Got money, spend it. I don't know how much more. This country's not going to stay stable forever. Even small town America. With all the shit going on, something's about to blow up, and it's going to be definitely in November, something bad's going to happen. Either one wins, you're going to have bad shit. More violent if Trump wins, because the left likes to fucking riot. But I think there's going to come a point where you try to push the right too far, beyond, say, the COVID stuff, I mean, beyond like 2A rights, the mandatory gun buyback that Kamala wants to implement, that kind of shit, I could see it getting fucking really, really bad. So yeah, I mean, I just hopefully I keep doing these, and if I get no news, but I'm just taking my time out to say, live for today. The Tim McGraw song, maybe, live like you were dying, or just live free or die, man. Fucking live free or die. We're sitting around out here watching the world burn. And, there's only so much we can do. We're limited to what we can do about it, right? So you might as well enjoy your fucking self. But don't let them, eat the red steak. Eat that fucking red meat, man. Before Kamala gets to fucking try to take that away from us, too. Of course, she'll probably flip-flop on that. She'll probably, hopefully. But you never know. This flip-flopping chameleon fucking cocksucker, she don't know which way's up half the time, unless she's being told to. One way or another. Anyway, I'm not going to ramble. I'm not going to go over 2 hours. I promise. I was way behind. I had to make this one a long one, so I don't like to break these up into sections on this time. Podcasts were a lot easier to do that, but this is tougher. So, but anyway, thanks for hanging out. If you watched this, even if you don't agree with me, you can leave voice or emails. You can leave shitty comments. I don't care. I expect shitty comments on some of it. I really do. I'm a far right wing conservative. That's how I think, and I'm a straight white conservative Christian male. I'm going to take the brunt of a lot of abuse, and it's okay. I'm still going to have an opinion until somebody shuts me up, and I don't know why you'd want to shut anybody up. I don't want to shut you up. You keep talking. But I can disagree with you, and you can disagree with me. That's the great thing. But it's the 0 hour, without the S, the 0 hour, 2021 at gmail.com. It's the 0 hour vlogs, blogs, and podcast on Facebook. At the 0 hours 23 on X. That's really my main go-tos. I got a TikTok, but I don't really post anything there. Same old, same old. Of course, I got to thank my assistant information gatherer, my silent co-host, my silent partner, Fred Excelsior, for his information gathering and conversations we have, which they're pretty cool. I mean, we get into some good ones, and on the old messenger. That's all good. And the cohorts for being great today. They didn't make a sound up there. They're good dogs, cat. So they're good. They're good animals. That's why I get so pissed about that animal part on the show. So it's like, fuck them, pissing me off. But anyway, I thank you for watching. If you do, I hope you tune back in next time. But until then, it's always trust and believe in your own convictions. And please, for the love of God, stay safe out there. We'll see you next time on another episode of the 0 hours. Rest in peace, Chuckles. And peace out. Damn it.